This is a production of Darn TV.
On his roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been in both of those situations.
Welcome. Magic City Car and Trade Show, Dirt Weekly, under the Nodak Speedway banner this weekend because I'm part of the Nodak Speedway car show, basically. Got the Mclean County Speedway sitting with me. Tyson Grinstead, Marcus Tomlinson, Isaac Sandrol,
yeah.
the voice of the Mclean County Speedway. Is
go.
that what you guys call him?
President, vice president, and guy that answers his phone sometimes.
Track packer.
Track packer? Yeah, there you go.
Victory lane announcer.
Yeah, you go from interviewing to getting in the tractor,
Yeah.
packing, and then back up to
I
announcing.
love it. You just get. I have ADD so bad, it's fun to bounce around like that.
And then he sits and listens to the receiver, and then
Yeah.
he just says whatever the receiver guy says.
I make fun of your dad voice. I use your dad voice.
I went back and I wanted to cut some highlights
Yep.
of the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, so I started cutting some because I'm going to try to put some promo stuff out.
Yep.
Because we're 2 months away.
Yeah, it's coming up
Crazy.
fast.
We're 2 months
Yeah.
away, so I was trying to do some promo stuff, and I got to the Underwood, and you're sitting up there with Nick talking about my dad voice while the hobby stocks are going on, and I just couldn't. I never went back and watched it.
Well, we ended up with like a 4.5 hour show. Now the racing was spectacular, but it was a long show.
Yeah.
we went single file in the hobby feature with 18 to go.
Yeah.
Because you had 5. I watched it. You had 5 cautions.
We ended up with like a 3 wide down the back straightaway deal with Olmsted. And like it was a crazy last 4 or 5 laps, right?
Yeah, Olmsted ended up getting black flagged on the last lap because he spun Hansen.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were going to be 3 wide going down the back straightaway.
That was awesome. I tell you, Jordan talks about this all the time with you guys. When the sun goes down in Underwood, like life just gets better. Like the track just comes alive, man.
And we talk about that all year long or whatever. And I know there's way more people probably out there that go to the lake and they want that extra hour of daylight.
Yeah.
I am very personal on this. I want that to go through so we're on winter
darker.
time. I call it
Yeah.
winter time.
Yep.
Standard time all year round.
We'd race features in the dark everywhere, and that'd be awesome.
But I know the lake people outnumber us
Yeah.
probably by thousands, I'm guessing, tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to get that to go through.
I mean, they're wrong, but
They are.
they picked the wrong hobby.
Most of the time, they're so drunk they don't even see the sun go down anyway, right?
Yeah,
So
Like
can't see the sun go down, so.
Well, there's a couple of guys in our pits that do that too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But like I tried to explain to them, who wants to sit around a fire at the lake at 11 o'clock at night?
I just can't.
I'd
sit
rather
still.
that be about
Yeah.
9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you can still go to bed at a normal time.
Yeah.
I'm old. 42 with
Yeah.
2 grown kids. You're still young in your kid thing, but
Yeah,
you're going to
we-
bed early,
We go
ain't
to
you?
bed earlier now. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a big
Yep.
change.
Once you start having kids, it's 8:30. If we ain't in bed by 9:30, it's a Dirt
Yeah.
Weekly night.
Oh, yeah.
It is it's a stretch because like you get with young kids, they're getting up. They don't care what you did the night before. They're
Correct.
getting up at the same time.
Not mine now.
Right.
I mean, they don't. Max probably ain't even out of bed yet. Peyton
Right.
may be out of bed soon.
Jordan made it, so he's
Yeah,
out of
Jordan's
bed. That's good.
Still
That's
has the
good.
snow in his hair from the
Yeah.
snowstorm yesterday,
I
but
thought it
Wayne
was-
Johnson does too.
Wonder we should. I wish we had a mic on those two right now.
I wonder what they're talking about.
That'd be quality.
They're talking about something from 1997. I can guarantee it.
Right?
Lap 7 of the heat race on May 4th.
Yeah. When we're done here, I got to show you guys the video from August 21st, 2015. That's like my favorite video to show people.
What happened?
Barnhart and Medler, man.
Oh.
We were there.
Yeah, you got to relive it though.
That was awesome. Good times. And now look at it. 10 years. We were just talking about this. 10 years later, everybody's friends. And hey, boy, isn't it crazy how much friendlier we all are with each other in April than we are in August? Everybody's like, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. And August, like, I ain't talking to that guy anymore. Marcus and I don't even hardly talk in August, but we're sharing a shop in April. So,
Yep.
You guys are working in the same shop?
Yeah.
For the summer or just now?
No, so Yeah, vintage snowmobiles take over our shop, and then Isaac's been gracious enough to let me work on my car in his shop for the winter.
So. It works out good because he's more handy than I am. So
we put his car together in
pretty quick,
probably a week.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
New Rage for you?
Yeah, we had kind of destroyed the thing on the tour last year. Actually, we both had to build. He had to build a new car in a week last year, and I didn't have the kid on the way and harvest coming, so I didn't even try to bother. And so we actually went down over Christmas break and picked this thing up from Justin and Drew and the boys. And so yeah, I'm excited. I've never had a new car, Brandon. I've never had a new car, so that's kind of crazy. So, but
and some of the success you've seen so far from the Rage guys.
Yeah, I just. This new design they kind of got to last year, man, and then Ethan and Drew and Justin and their tech support's insane, man. So, yeah, that's kind of what I mean. He actually has one of Justin's personal cars, and so it's kind of exciting for us to. We're teammates without being teammates, like I said. So it's actually pretty cool. So,
a lot of things going the Rage way.
Rage
kind of made a big thing? Was it when Walla was doing his deal?
Yeah.
And then it kind of went away, some other chassis brands, but now it's kind of full.
I just think
some of the performer guys are going back to Rage.
Yeah, and that's, some of his personal preference and whatever, but like when you, and this is not a plug for Rage chassis, we've worked with several chassis, like when I was working with Kittler and all those guys for years, and we've had good guys and good tech guys and bad tech guys. When you call to Justin or Ethan or Drew and these guys, or when you show up at their shop, it feels like you're walking into your own shop. Like it's such a nice feeling. They're just great dudes, and so I think that's why. And then the performance speaks for itself too.
Yep.
So not only that they're good dudes, they're freaking fast. They freaking know their shit. So
I don't have any ties to Rage. Brock had a couple of them. Whatever. Brandon Beater personally, I don't have any ties.
Yep.
Just stopping through. I took Peyton on a college tour trip, and we went through West Union. I made sure we went through on our drive-through, and we just randomly walked through the door, and he gave us like red carpet treatment, the tour of the shop. Here's what we're working on. This is what's new. And I'm like, this is bad. What?
They make you feel like when you pull up to it, it's nothing like they ain't pulling up to this. Or like when you went to Carl's back in the day, and like you said, you walk in, it feels like home. And Justin's office is on one side, and the building the cars, the bumpers or whatever. I don't know.
It's no bigger than, like, we have a shop condo where we work on our cars.
Yeah.
If you just add two of them together, that's all the bigger the place is.
Yeah.
On your way to Rage, did you see any Amish?
Yeah. We did,
And
going down the road.
So
like, we had to go around them because they were.
We got a story.
Yeah.
It's dark out, and
got dark at 5:30.
Yeah, it's dark out. We're on our way. We come over a hill. We see a flashing light. Well, what the heck's this?
Yeah.
Horse and buggy, middle of the road. I'm going
black.
75. It's pitch black out. What happens when you hit them?
Yeah.
You just drive away?
I
mean, I don't know what you do.
I don't think they have cell phones, right? Like,
No.
And I'm just telling you, because like the last hour into Rage into West Union, there's no good way. It's 55. It's curvy roads. It's kind of through Amish country, north or from the west. Like, and we come over that. We're listening to the Vikings game. We're beep bopping through on our phones. Like, we've been on the road for 11 hours. We're like, what the? It was. And then we get about 4 or 5 miles on the road. There's one on a bike.
Yep.
With the flashing.
Yep.
I'm like, oh man.
So Kyler Jeffrey went to Rage last week. I guess I maybe shouldn't say that, but Kyler goes
Breaking
to Rage.
news. Sorry, Kyler.
Sorry, Kyler, but welcome to the team, buddy.
Welcome to the Rage chassis.
Anyways, Kyler's down there, and he's going by himself, so I text him, and I was like, dude, you got to watch out for the Amish people, like the last hour into West Union, and he texts me back like he's scared. He's like, wait a minute, like, are they going to do something to me? Or I was like, no, you just have to, like, you're going to run him over.
And, we'd like to make this clear. We have nothing against the Amish community. We have nothing. It's not something we're used to.
It's not like they're going to watch this.
Valid point.
That's a really good point, Tyson.
Well, you never know. When we got to Rage, they were like, well, they'll probably get out their cell phone and call the cops. So we never really know. But anyways.
It was kind of snowy and whatever, and I was like, oh, man. Yeah, good times.
Good times.
It was a good trip. We did not hit on the casino either time.
We did not pay for the car when we were down there.
The car. So this is off the dirt. This is what we're talking about, off the dirt podcast right here, because we're not on task at all.
Let's start. We do the Dirt Weekly. That's kind of more of a serious, kind of not serious, but we kind of go through stuff. I want to start one that's off the dirt. I called it the Darn TV Download at one time, you know, and I wanted it to be hot topics, or we talk about stuff, or we just randomly do stuff. I mean, this is the Dirt Weekly in a nutshell.
We talked about stealing that idea from Knoxville, like after the races at like at Motor Magic or something.
Yeah.
Have like off down on the stage, everybody hanging out. That's what they do at Knoxville.
Right.
You come out of the grandstands and they're set up for their broadcast, and you talk about the night, what just happened. You bring up guys that were involved or winners or whatever. It's a pretty cool setup. Like,
be real cool if you're across the table from a guy you just doored for 10th or something, you know.
But I mean, how great would the
content
the
would be
content
awesome.
be?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
but my fear is, and you're in high school sports.
Yep.
The fear is you hurt people's feelings so fast.
It goes
Like,
quick.
snap your fingers fast,
Yep.
and then you got to deal with the ramifications afterwards. And it just
Remember the old Jim Rome show when there was guys fighting and then pushing?
Yeah.
Like, that's very likely could happen. The Knoxville guys probably a little bit more professional than we are. So, but the content would be excellent.
Oh,
and then
it'd be-
10 years later, like Smalls and I, like we're Facebook friends after all these years, and we're talking. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning in 17-degree weather to bring a car to this car show because Smalls like, hey man, bring him up. We're like, all right, 10 years ago we wouldn't talk. So if we had that content of us fighting like the Dilly, like him, see, it's funny 10 years later.
Well, I think Dylan and Smalls talk now too.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
They were buying stuff from each other last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man. Yeah, the tables
it goes. That's the way it works,
I know.
though.
Yeah. So maybe we should just keep the camera rolling. We should start rolling through the pits afterwards and it's like, hey,
Well, there's been a lot of requests. So you watch the Chili Bowl.
Yep.
And when they gave, Owen Larson
Oh, that was
and
hilarious, yeah.
Brixton Bush,
yeah.
and then who else was there? There was 4 of them total. They were all sons of
Yep.
Right. Yep.
NASCAR racers.
Harvick's kid, I think, wasn't
Yeah.
Harvick's kid one of them, maybe?
Yeah.
And,
I don't remember.
They said, I got to give my camera or whatever to some kids and go around
Yeah.
Nodak or go around whatever.
Like
I got
Slato
no-
and those guys?
Oh,
that'd be a
My goodness. And now with Slato and that thing, we're going to get some real good
Yeah.
content.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying I ordered the equipment,
It's doable.
Yeah.
so it's doable.
Mhm.
It's just finding time
Yeah.
to do it and then editing it.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to watch Sladen Pfeiffer drive that sport mod because if he drives it
gonna be
anything
a
like
wheel.
his slingshot, watch out.
Yeah. He's a wheel, man.
Yeah.
And he
He's
understands racing. And
He was here last night. He was talking about this, that over
Yeah.
there. It's pretty. He's here now. He's just over there talking to Jordan.
How about the rocket chassis sport mod?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I don't think so, but
He's but we need those guys to get going in this too.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
And then
Yeah.
Carver Ballrood picking up Darren Medler's car. That was breaking news to
That's
me last
breaking
night.
news. Darren's car needs to be raced.
Yes.
It sucks that Darren's not racing it.
what's going on there? Anybody know?
he
Darren's
just-
done or
Is he
retiring
taking a
or?
break? Do we?
He's taking a break, as far as I know. Darren's not going to be racing. I know there was a pretty good sales pitch to the Ballrood or to Carver and Dad and Grandpa DeLaus, I think,
Yep.
to
Yeah.
try to buy Max's Razor Sport Mod, but he ended up with Darren's car instead.
Do we think that maybe he drives Small's car, Darren, once in a while? Is that thing?
He might.
Is that
I
on
don't
the
know.
table?
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see them being maybe like the beaters, like Brock and I, we just jump in whatever and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I don't maybe see the Medlers that way, maybe. I don't know.
Yep. Well, Marcus and I had a long discussion about that after I junked the car last year about jumping in a stock car, but I don't fit in his seat at all. So
Well, that's what
that
helps.
doesn't-
Brock and I are the same
Yeah,
size. So,
And we're still Fred Flintstoning the stock cars.
Yeah.
So
Hey, you haven't picked up a motor yet?
There's four.
there's one being built.
There's
Yeah.
4 push
Yeah.
rods on the floor right now.
Yeah, in the trailer. There's still some stock
I'm
car
like,
parts.
should we be concerned about your car right now? He's like, no, that's from way back. It's fine.
Like I said, shop's full of snowmobiles.
Yeah.
Stock car was in in my race trailer, and modified was in my house garage for a couple weeks. And then Isaac said, just bring it to my shop.
My sister may have texted me like, do you have some room in the shop? I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, because her Tahoe was sitting outside, and she's like, listen. I'm like, yeah, I'm not working during basketball. The car don't get touched, so like. It worked out good.
We do the same rotation. We can fit 3 cars in our shop, and right now this Brock's Mod and stock car and Brody's hobby. Well, we put Max's hobby together first. That's up in my dad's garage. So, I mean, we do the same.
Yeah.
They rotate as they're done. Either they'll go sit in the trailer like Max's Sport Mod sitting in the trailers for sale. Anybody want a Sport Mod, come talk to me at the show. Whatever. We'll make you a deal.
Yeah.
It's a nice Razor.
I'm not in the sport mod market.
It's a sister car
You
to
don't
this
know that
one
yet.
sitting next to us.
I do know that.
Why not? Well, I mean, you don't want to race the same class as your brother. So after the hobby, where are you going to go?
I don't know. Late model.
I
Do
mean,
it.
that's a legit. I mean, like, just look how beautiful that thing
You were
is.
talking
Like,
about building one.
I told you, if I ever have a car with fenders.
Here's my problem with
yeah.
I
got
could
no-
fit in your seat for sure.
Yes, you could.
the late models look cool. They look really, really cool. Out there on the track, they're laid over on the right front. When they sit stationary like they are right here in the show, with the right front way up in the air, kind of looks ugly.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Man,
I don't like it.
I love it.
I don't know.
I've always had an inkling. I got to drive one years ago for Chad Bush, and it was an older car, and it was just so much fun. It's just so much. They're just so cool. But we got to get them. You have to drive so far to race them.
Yeah, they don't race them here. That's the thing.
Mana's got the 2 a year, and I guess now mine is gonna maybe that'll turn into more than one night deal.
Right.
That late model, that Word of Allah late model swing, that 4 or 5 nights up here.
That's gonna be legit.
That's gonna be awesome.
You could take the weekend off and just go be a fan.
For real.
Honestly.
And it's the same weekend as the Williston Fair, so obviously I'll be over there.
Right, that's where I'll be too, I'm sure. So.
Yep.
But
you
I
never
mean,
know.
But I think what is it? Ada, Forks, Fargo, or Fergus here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fergus is, I think, the fourth. Why aren't they going to Fargo? They went to Fargo the last couple years.
I thought Fargo was in it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Fargo I don't want to look.
But I don't know,
that Fergus deal, that track that's a pre-moch deal. That's like on the bucket list too, man.
But making it like a 5-day deal gets the RTJs of the world and stuff to think about coming up. And
because
they're off.
They're off at that time, yeah.
That'd be big.
That'd be huge.
So
the beauty of the Dirt Weekly is we don't do any show prep. The show prep is done during the show
this
here.
Is good.
Marcus hasn't slept in like 36 hours, so he's
Yeah.
going to keep wheeling it.
We're rolling here. Another shout out to my buddy Kyler Jeffrey. Got me one of them C4s one time on the way home from Estevan. You got to talk to Mariah about that story because I was up till about 6 in the morning. So
they work.
I had one of those. Yeah. Working night shift outage. So
it looks like they go Fergus, Grand Forks, Ada, and then Minot.
That makes sense.
And then July 3rd, they go to the Go for 50.
Man,
over at Deer Creek.
Which is cool. That's a cool event too.
Cool.
But them at Ada is going to be it's so tough to pass there.
Well, they put on a heck of a show there last year. They had like 3 or 4 different leaders, and like they blew up or broke or.
That's a stretch. That'd be really cool. So, yeah, kudos to NODAF for getting them up here and making that deal work.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So,
I know it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
To get them going.
I think once those guys pull in this facility and see what it is, they're going to be like, this has got to stay on the schedule, man.
And hopefully, us A-mods can,
because the A-mods are with them, right?
Yep.
So hopefully we can, maybe widen the track out a little bit enough for them or, try and.
Who am I pitting for that night?
Yeah, come on now, man. It's going to be insane. I'm so excited.
I hope.
Because I don't think I have a job that night. Dirt Vision's there to broadcast. They have their own announcer, so what would I have to do?
Sometimes Dirt Vision goes back to the track announcers for the support class, don't they?
Yeah.
Like Johnny Gibbs, that's sprint car stuff, but Johnny Gibson won't. He won't announce support classes.
Yeah, like a mod race or something.
Oh, so maybe I have to go up and do that.
Do the mods.
I'll take Jorn up there with me.
That'd be cool.
And
that'd be really cool.
Trav and Marcus and I all talked to Smalls quite a bit about that deal about really wanted to be on that show. Like, I think the mods need to be in that show, and hopefully we can draw, Sean Strand and some of those guys from Mandan and around the area. We can get Aaron and Cody and some of those guys down from up north, like, put on just a whale of a modified show, too.
We need 50 mods down there, too.
No, we don't need 50. We need 25 really good ones.
Yeah.
So,
you almost need, like, the Monty Lundy night we had last year.
That was picked.
Where there was 24 cars, but it was 24
winners. 23 could win.
Yeah,
that was so fun.
There were quality cars.
I mean, like, you're wheeling, and the whole top 10, like, it was just champions. Like, I think we figured it out after the race. I mean, how many championships? Everybody had a championship in the top 10.
It was nuts.
It was crazy. It was just, it was a blast. And it was a great racetrack, too. That August deal that they put together up here, that's really, really shifted the schedule. I think it's helped places like us in Underwood, too. Big time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that August thing is going to be crazy.
Yep.
Because there's already talking, the guys that have been up for the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, the Morgan Olmsteads, that hobby stock one, they're already talking about coming up for that. And then his brother Jacob was talking about coming up for the Sport Mod one.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to, like kind of what we're doing for the stock car special.
Yep.
Up here, the $4,000 to win, the 2 nights before. And in Underwood, we're racing.
You can set it up here if you want.
We're racing for $1,000 to win the first night, and then $2,500 to win the second night. So $4,000 up in Minot.
Yeah.
The whole weekend you can race for $7,500.
And we'll go through that. I'll throw the schedule on the screen. Do we want to start that right now or what?
Well, I don't care. It don't matter to me.
And
we could probably go for hours.
The last couple stock car shows in Underwood have been primo. Like Johnny Carter, was ecstatic when he got out. And Johnny Carter's won everything.
Yeah.
He got out of that, and we had to go single file a little bit there. That one took a while, too. But once he got rolling, holy crap, was that a show.
That might have been about a 50-minute feature.
Yeah, but the last 4 or 5 minutes were insane.
It was really light out when they started, and it was dark when they was over.
Yeah.
But we have some of those in Underwood.
You have them everywhere. Don't say just Underwood.
No,
you have them at every racetrack.
Big money on the line.
You know, I am a firm believer. This is where I kind of differ maybe from some other racetracks or whatever. When it's a big show, when it's a Tougher Than Dirt Tour, when it's a mod tour, when it's the Cole County, when there's money on the line, you finish the race.
Yeah.
Whatever you have to do to finish the race, you do not cut laps.
No.
Right.
Well, like when
Right.
Strand won the Stampede a couple years ago, he had the victory lane at 2:47 in the morning.
Right.
It's a Stampede. Nobody bats an eye, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's just kind of how big shows need to be.
And you just have to finish it.
Yep.
You know, there's things you can do as the race director, whatever,
Absolutely.
single file like we did. But we made sure, like in Underwood, Tougher Than Dirt Tour, we're finishing both features.
Yep.
We're running them to the scheduled laps.
Yep.
And you can sense my frustration a little bit because it didn't happen last fall at Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And I had the fastest
cut
car.
A couple of them.
They cut some laps off us hobbies, and I was a little bit.
Well, the worst part about that is we all got there Thursday for practice.
Yep.
And then we raced
a heat race.
We raced 8 laps on, and I'm not knocking
we're not.
It's just how it is. And then you go there and you get a 15-lap feature, and then you actually get 5. So you were there for 3 days and you raced 12 laps.
So
our hobby feature was a mess at Oktoberfest, though. I mean,
but it got straightened out at the end.
Yeah,
we ran quite a few laps in a row,
and then getting better.
Yeah. But what do you think of these places? Marshalltown, who did it just a couple weeks ago? Beatrice. They're going to that double heat race format on the first night. When it's it's a one show 2-day deal, they're doing the double heat races and then lining up and doing B mains and features. Do you like that better?
I mean, it's better than the other way.
Yeah.
But
if you're going to do it that way, that's the way to do it.
You know, let's give Wilson a plug here. 4 double headers this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
full shows
two complete shows every time. Like that's a cool deal.
When I leave work, you leave work, we leave work to go racing.
Yeah,
I can't afford to be gone to sit around for an 8-lap heat race. That's just a God honest truth. Okay. I don't even like the payout on the other side of it isn't even the biggest concern. When I load up my car to go, I want to go race. Yeah. You know, I don't have time to go run 8 laps after sitting for 3 hours and then go that doesn't work for me. I want to race my car when I go somewhere. As many laps as possible, you know. So
and then there's some of us, but that was kind of different. The Fall Nationals down in Hayes, they do a heat race and then you have a qualifier. Everybody races a qualifier. You know, so you get your laps in. There's no pay on night 1.
Right.
But you get your laps in. And then it sets you up. If you did good in them, too, it sets you up for a feature the next day.
Yeah.
And you know, racetracks are trying to make money, so you understand that.
Yep.
But, you know, like Wilson's deal, their double headers, they're going to be regular pay. But I guarantee you there's going to be more cars because it's one tank of gas.
Yep.
Even to go there.
Look at the Motor Magic setup here, or the Cole County or the County Fair setup in Underwood. That one pole for just a little bit better pay, that's a pretty good deal. I mean,
Absolutely.
It is. And then I've always liked, like last year at the Cole County, the racetrack you get Friday night is different than your Saturday night track, and you got to adjust pretty quickly. And it's really hit or miss. And I like that, too. I like that chasing it a little bit on that doubleheader stuff. Wilson's never the same back-to-back nights.
No.
Never by our feature. I
hope nothing but the best for those guys up there. Another new crew, Bland and the boys. I think if Bland's still involved. But, you know.
He should be here today. I was going to try to get him on the show.
That'd be big.
I think they got the right people on the board.
Yeah.
Some of the names there that you see around that racetrack, the Florries, they care about that place. They need to be involved. Yeah, it'll be good.
You know, and everybody wants the place to succeed.
Yep.
You know, and it doesn't matter who's running it. You know, we all wanted the place to succeed when G-Man was running it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Right. You know, it just didn't work. And you thank them for the effort, but, you know, now we're moving on to hopefully bigger and better things over there.
Right.
So
I'm excited to go back over there again. I mean, I kind of lost my I fell into a low spot over there last year. Kind of got ran off.
Yep.
I came back and finished the year, but you know, it excites me again to go back there with a new group and
here's the deal. And Jordan's sat here and said this a lot. And
in that exact chair.
In this exact chair, when Willison's right, it's a blast.
That place is wild.
It's like I've had some sport mod features and a couple A mod ones. When it's right, it is a blast. So when it's off, it is off. So
when it's right and you're leading,
yeah,
just know that Travis is coming,
yeah.
whether it's in 2 laps or 2 to go,
yeah.
or on the white flag. Thanks, Trav, again. And when it's wrong and you're leading, Trav's still coming.
Yeah. That's not just Williston, though. That's the problem. That's everywhere.
Yeah, but he's scary good in Williston. Like, he's really good everywhere, but.
Yeah, when he got Mandan figured out, oh, great.
Yeah, there was.
Right.
Last year at Oktoberfest when we were in the Claim area, and 4 out of the 5 cars are what we would call Nodak cars, and Zach Frederick was I think he got 4th there, but we all kind of looked at each other and was like, this is pretty cool, we know there's a distinct line there, but
when Travis used to struggle down there.
Yeah.
Now I think if Travis tells you he struggles anywhere, it's Estevan.
Yeah, he's human in Estevan.
He's human, yeah.
Don't be saying stuff like that, you guys. remember what Larry said a couple years ago, and then the tear that took off from the 14T afterwards. Travis, you're good everywhere. Don't spit him up.
Yep.
It's like Michael. You don't piss off MJ, man. Like, don't give him anything.
Oh, Trav's still gonna go win in Estevan.
For sure.
It's just like if you got a chance to maybe run Trav down, or maybe he won't pass you with 2 to go. I think maybe, but in Estevan, there's still Cody
and Fife have been so good there, and Aaron got so good from June on last year.
There's 12 to 15 modifieds at any track that could win. It doesn't matter. Like, how can you be disappointed if you get a 7th and then you look at the people in front of you and it's Aaron or Cody or Trav or Fife or throw somebody else in there. It's it's insane. This A-Mod class is, and that's why we try to put a couple more A-Mod shows, and we're doing some unique stuff there. The A-Mods in Underwood have been really good in the past, and people wanted them there, so we're there. The fans kind of reached out last year, to be honest, after the Cole County. And we had a lot of good people. When Trav Hagen makes Facebook posts, people listen.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and, Walla did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But, so we did it. We added modifieds for 2 more nights next year. So.
And it's funny you said you bring up Facebook. I always preach, or I try to tell guys like Walla, Hagen, they don't realize how powerful their voice is.
Yep.
They're sitting there racing, and then they don't realize when they make a Facebook post, and it's maybe not even a bashing post, but it's maybe a little bit of negative in whatever, how you call it. It's not necessarily a bash, but there's some negativity in there. How much it affects other people and maybe them going to that place because they carry a loud voice.
And Trav doesn't talk much.
No.
And so when Trav speaks, it's usually pretty important, or it's got some wisdom behind it too.
You better listen.
There's a handful of guys like that, listen when they talk, and so it's good stuff. I don't know. The modified class is not going to get any slower either.
No.
So look at Tuchscher and Brady and these guys; it just keeps getting better. Drew's been really good the last
everybody,
and most of them have been coming down to Underwood too, which is exciting for us.
Yep.
And so when the fans asked about that after, the show up front last year and the way the racetrack got, and that's kind of why we're going to go to that Fast 40. The longer the mods go in Underwood, the more technical it gets, and the better it gets.
Absolutely.
The rim at Underwood is the hardest rim to chase. And when we get up around the top there, and you're searching for moisture high and low, it evens up, and it's tricky. And we've reshaped. I don't think you guys have talked about that. We reshaped 1 and 2 a ton.
This is what we're here for.
Yeah,
a lot.
Mikey and Gordy did a bunch of work. We pulled. In corner 2, anybody that's racing Underwood or watching Underwood, and you get to the center of 2, you kind of fall off. You fall off towards the big trees, right? Fall off towards the highway. And so we pulled that in and made it the exact width as 3 and 4. And so the top of 2 is pulled back, and it should rocket you back down the back straightaway instead of falling off, not having that feel. And so that's really exciting, I think, for hobbies and stock cars and everything to gain the momentum, because we've got the bottom pretty good.
Right.
And so we can keep that top in 1 and 2 consistent for 2-lane racing. That's all we ever want as drivers, right? 2 lanes.
Right.
And I think so. If we go 40 laps with those mods, I think by the end of it, you're going to get up tippy-toeing. So Marcus and I both been over into the fence where the Versatiles are parked there. But you got to tippy-toe a lot. And we've seen some really good dudes do that too.
Yeah.
So it's tippy-toe at Underwood. So that's really cool. So
yeah, a lot of work being put in. Reshaping, new tractor being delivered. I seen some Snapchat. He was driving a new tractor. Big things happening down there. A lot of community support.
Yeah, so we had 3 individuals, and there was more. Probably had 4 or 5 individuals that wanted to donate to help buy a tractor. Racetrack's going to pay them back by the end of the calendar year. Just kind of a, just another versatile 855. About it. It was 7 miles away from the racetrack.
Guy retired.
Easy drive.
The guy retired, and Isaac dropped me off one day, and
that was an adventure too.
No brakes.
No brakes.
No brakes. You just drive down the highway, you know. I mean,
we got battery packs and ether and cleaning out air filters, and we got her fired up, and down the road we went.
The price was right, and it's at the racetrack, and
them versatiles are good tractors for racetracks.
Yeah,
really are, man.
The plan is it takes time to hook and unhook, right?
Yep.
So we're hoping we got one tractor that needs some head work, and then we got another tractor that has a steering valve leaking. So the plan is to have 3 tractors, and then try and do a Boone track prep. I mean,
quick.
15-20 minutes.
We've got it pretty good.
Yeah,
we do. We have our intermission's pretty good, and
And what I've talked about is having a tractor for each thing. When you are there by yourself, let's say in the middle of the week, this was my experience down here at Nodak. I'm there by myself. If I only have one tractor, I go out and water it, and then I open it up with the cultivator. Now I got to water it again and sheep's foot it to get some water down in there.
Yep.
I almost look at it going, I think I'm done for the night because I don't want to unhook and go hook up to the sheep's foot.
Well, how do you hook up to something by yourself?
It's hard.
You can't do it.
So I used to have a stick that I set underneath there, and then I'd back up, and hopefully I didn't hit it hard enough.
I know.
Yep.
To knock it off the stick.
Knock it off the stick,
And then
This is behind-the-scenes track prep things that people don't see. And then usually you worked all day, and it's either still hot out or it's miserable windy or something, and now you're like, why am I here on Wednesday night?
Yeah, why am I here till 11 o'clock? But you get the most moisture in the track after dark.
After dark, yeah. The water doesn't touch the racetrack and under it unless it's dark out besides on race day. So
usually I just get it. What I used to do is just get it wet so I could open it up, and then by about that time I was done with work.
No, this is a Mikey story.
Right.
This Mikey's Mikey. We don't have to explain that to everybody. Like, was it Calvin's wedding? We raced the next night and then so Mikey left the dance at 10 o'clock, did his water, came back to the dance at 11:30. Like, because it's dark, that's when we put it on. We're not changing the system here, guys. So that's a bit behind the scenes stuff that people in the grandstands don't really see. Why is it so dusty? Why didn't you water more? We did. We're leaving family events. It's happening. So
God, there's so much goes on that. But I mean, even on race day, the sun being in a certain, if there's no cloud cover at all, it's impossible to keep moisture in a racetrack. I don't care who you are.
It is,
and it's hard to we race from the last week of May till the first week of August. That's
the heat.
The heat.
Yep.
But for us that works best. No school sports, not middle of summer. So. Back to the track shaping. Yeah, so we did 3 extra laps in corner 2 watering. It took 3
over
extra
the years,
laps.
like last year it did, or this year?
No, it was so much wider in corner 2. It took 3 extra laps up there to water. So we took a lot of banking off, and then they actually flattened it.
Yeah.
So when you go off the top of 1 and 2, it's not such a sharp edge. We want to do that in 3 and 4. We just gotta
get there. Yeah.
We'll see if we'll get there this spring.
I think our number was 76 feet from top to bottom. That was our number in both corners. Yeah. We were like 94-ish on one end, and yeah.
And another thing that you get to talk about behind the scenes, nobody realizes that you guys are out there measuring. Nobody realizes that there's a whole evening or sometimes 2 or 3 evenings involved in going out and measuring the racetrack at different spots, trying to figure out the shape.
I think Mikey, Gordy, and Julio, that was like 3 or 4 days. It was right before the banquet. That whole week before the banquet, we kind of just, and Dylan came over for a while, and Oliver was there too, and just kind of every day just kind of got it a little bit better, a little bit. And then dirt's pretty hard, so you had to break it loose, pull it, break it loose, pull it, and bucket by bucket, and then kind of.
We didn't have a scraper either or a loader. It was 2 skid steers and a tool cat, and they moved a lot of dirt.
And then dilly bar is a little bit magic in that blade too. You can kind of feel it,
Yeah, we had 2 guys. One guy that retired from the mine, 40 years of running equipment, so he kind of can read the dirt. I'm sure you guys are pretty good at that with your construction. So, but
it's an art. When you're out there, it's one thing to read the track when you're in a race car. When you go out there in a race car, you have a ability. You got to try to read the track when you're not in a car. When you're up in a tractor, you're up higher, or even in a blade. Like a blade, you have a totally different look of the racetrack, and you got to try to read it and cut it.
Him and I have talked about this. You can probably attest to it a little bit too. sitting in the tractor on these racetracks has helped me at Underwood get around the racetrack better. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You see it a little bit different and feel it like it's a different feel.
Absolutely.
Then drive it backwards once, and you're like, man, that's how you should kind of be feeling this thing, like, yeah.
Even just walking it, picking rocks or whatever. If you're just standing on the racetrack,
I should be entering there. Like I can go there yet.
If you stand in the bottom of 1 and 2 and look up, you're like, well,
hold it. You might be making this too good for everybody, and everybody's going to volunteer for track prep now.
Oh, hey, man, we love that. I would love to have to fight the tractor with 40 people. Like have a hamburger at intermission instead. But we have the best hamburgers in the state. I will argue that. Our concession stand is second to none. Thanks to Sandy and the crew from Main Street Market and Sandy's crew, our concession stand is top notch.
You run out of food quite regularly.
It's awesome.
Which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Which is a really good thing.
That's how we
I don't say run out of food at the middle of the races. I'm talking at the end of the night. You guys has emptied all the coolers.
Yep. We need to sell those burgers to pay for the versatile. Like, everybody come hungry when you come to Underwood this year. Okay, do not eat before. So,
I'll attest to that.
It's awesome.
I run down and grab one. You guys are out working. That's my little break.
I don't like missing meals, Brandon, and so
really, you give me really good stuff to go eat when I go on vacation. You're like, you're going on vacation. Here's the places to stop.
That's that's how Marcus and I's trip turned into a 14-hour trip on the way back too.
Oh, different places to eat.
Yeah,
I pulled.
Is that why you put on a little bit of pounds? You've been hanging out with him too much.
Don't. He doesn't like to talk about it.
So
since he joined the Sandrol family.
There's a few things going on since I turned 30 and got married. I'm gaining weight.
Oh.
And I'm going bald.
Oh.
So it's not a good deal. Like I'm not taking my hat off.
And what else?
Yeah.
Is this the place you want to do it right now? I just found out a little bit ago. So.
Yeah. So. We'll see what happens after August, but where's Mariah? She's probably watching, but so me and Mariah, we're expecting our first child first week of August.
Cole County, baby, so that's going to be...
Hopefully we can get some people to step up and help.
So volunteers needed for the Cole County Classic.
For sure.
And, and if you got my snap yesterday, I hope I cleared it up with you because... 22 night shifts straight was not a good deal. So
I don't even remember seeing the snap.
No, it was bad. It was bad. I said baby's due in April, and it was baby's due in August, and people are like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, what are you sorry about? Like, and then they thought that, something bad happened or whatever. So, but I got it cleared up with mostly everybody, and I told Mariah, I was like, this is why I don't tell people, because I messed it up. How do you mess it up? How do you mess it up?
Yeah, first week of April, I was like, that's
now. I guess I missed that one. Otherwise, I may have asked you something, but I missed that one.
I sent it to a few people.
I just can't wait till his kid and my kid wreck each other first time, and Grandma Lana's got to go figure that one out. So it's gonna be good stuff.
That's gonna be fun though. A year apart,
about a year.
About a year.
11 months. 11 months a year. So.
I mean, that's fun.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
I think
we're stuck together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say about 5 minutes ago, you should never get married, die, or have a kid during race season. Yeah. And now I'm doing one of the three. So I've always told people, if you get married during race season, I'll come if it rains out. But so.
Yeah, I've kind of had that attitude too. Max and Peyton were both one's October, one's September. So I tried to get as far out of race season. There's not much planning when we do this.
No.
So like.
Yeah.
There was some tough times, and when it happens, it happens, and you just thank the good man above, and so we're excited.
I think it's fun to have everybody, like Travis having his kids, and you having.
Well, we got another family starting. Tyson
got engaged. Got engaged.
Yeah, so we'll get married next year. So
not during race season.
October.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully not during. What's going on October 11th for Dylan's wedding? Oh, the Legend National.
That's this year, yeah.
That's this year. But yeah. Oh, you're October next year.
It'll be a week.
Yeah, the Legend Nationals in mine up.
What is she trying to get out of it? She pushed it back another year or what?
What's that? Maybe. I don't know. Well, so like when I proposed, she started making all the plans or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Stuff is booked out until then. Like
for real,
the photographer she wants. That's the only week in 2026 she can get. It's like
we can get you in Turtle Lake.
I was gonna say, remember how much fun we had at the Turtle Lake Legion? Like, why is Tyson Grinstead getting married in Turtle Lake? That's not central location for anything. But we had a lot of fun, and Pastor Steve would probably marry you.
You had to be there at Turtle Lake at the Tomlinson wedding.
That is a year tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Year tomorrow.
Yep, year tomorrow. So.
Guess where they're spending their anniversary?
Here.
At the car show.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up either.
Yeah, and she's running the booth.
Oh, well, you guys are over here talking?
Yeah, she's running the booth.
Yeah.
So we should probably get going so you guys can go relieve her?
I should probably maybe go to sleep too, but
Well,
no, we're good. I got a good job. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, we can jump into the schedule here. We got some cool things going on.
Did everybody quit listening?
No, we're over 50.
What the heck? They must be bored.
Popular.
you have no idea.
What do you do on a Saturday morning?
Yeah.
Listen to four guys think they know what they're talking about.
It is, though, like the Dirt Weekly breaks up the race season so nice. Like Wednesday night, you're kind of looking for that content.
Yep.
And then, like, High Limits, the Outlaws, they're racing Tuesdays and Thursdays a lot, and it just breaks up the week so nice. It kind of gets you excited for the weekend again,
Yeah.
And we took a better part of the winter off. I struggle with content for the winter. I struggle with, like, what are we going to talk about? People don't want to listen to us. I mean, we broke down more basketball with you there for a couple weeks than we did racing. But what else are we going to talk about?
I think it's good to step away. We've had this discussion. There's so much racing now. It never stops. Like the Duel in the Desert used to be, that's it. We're going to get a couple weeks. And now it's Duel to Arizona to Volusia. It's not a break anymore, man.
Like, I don't know if you guys seen Bobby Pierce's post, which, Bobby talked about how nothing's a special anymore.
Right.
Because you race all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, he was right. Like, sometimes you got to take a step back and,
break.
like, what are specials?
Yeah. Right.
So there was people that were in Volusia for 14, 15 days straight.
Yeah.
So you took a vacation with Mariah. You went down to Florida. Did you go do some racing or watch some racing?
Yep, we went to the last 2 nights of Volusia. It just works out with her school schedule. So, yeah, that was cool.
I was down there about a month before you, or
Okay.
maybe a few weeks before you. It may have been 2 weeks before you. I can't remember the exact dates, but we did no racing. It was just Jenny and I got away for a weekend.
Yep.
Those are big. As you guys grow as families, those are big.
Yeah.
Because you forget that it's you two that started it.
Yep.
Right. Right.
And it's you two that have to keep going.
How about have you ever watched a big block modified race live?
Nope.
They're kind of, we went 3 years ago and they were like, well, now this last year they put on a show. Like a guy went to the top, started like 16th, and he won that deal on the top. And then you go to them and you're like, well, it's a modified. There's zero things similar to like our modified that we raced in a big block mod.
The only thing I do with big block mods is I race them on iRacing. That's all I do.
Right.
The sitting in the middle thing's weird.
Right.
Even on the screen.
Yeah, but to me, I can't do the UMP mods or the super late models. I'm never good at that stuff. You put me in some of the big block mods, I can do some of that and be competitive.
iRacing, I've never figured it out.
Me neither, but
and I'm not terrible at driving these things. That was frustrating. The only thing I was good at was the 305, 360s, and 410 sprints. I'm like, that makes no dang sense. I never done any of that.
Yeah. It's because you can't feel it. That's what we talked about. You cannot feel it.
You can't feel it in the seat. You can't feel the steering wheel.
Right. Yeah.
And I've never played the game, but I just know that when you're in your race car and you throw it into the corner or drive it into the corner, you know if it's good.
Yeah.
You know if it's good. You drive. I'm guessing when you drive it on this iRacing, you just
terrible.
There's no feel. You're just watching it.
And even if you have like the better pedals and stuff, it ain't right. It ain't right.
Yeah, and if you're going to spend $30,000 for one of them motion rigs, you might as well just buy the
race car.
Buy a race car. Yeah.
But you can't hit reset. That would be nice. Like what we did in Dickinson last year when you destroyed both cars. Reset.
Yep, that would have been good.
Boom. Good times. Yeah, you've raced with family. You get it. You race with family. You get it. It's that was a parked beside each other, 2 junked race cars. I guess we're going golfing.
There's a picture.
Golfing.
There's a picture somewhere on the Hall of Fame, Nodak Speedway Hall of Fame. They put it up here, maybe a year, last fall. Was Brock and I sitting nose to nose off the back straightaway at Nodak?
It happens
in a hobby stock. I mean, it happens.
Well, so luckily, me and Brenner never really had those. Last year, he dumped me in 3 and 4 in Nodak. Yeah. He won that race, but whatever. We waited until our final night together in the hobby stocks at Boone. We were in a B main. And we both junked. Well, his car got bent up pretty good. Mine survived. But that was the first time we'd ever been parked stuff together. And I'm like, on IMCA TV at
Supernats. That was, 8 years before we did it. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Schedule.
Mclean
County Speedway schedule. We're going to cover you and I up. So
That's
nobody
good.
at home needs to see us. They'll still see Isaac and Tyson. But Similar to last year?
Yeah, it's basically a spitting image of last year. We went to that schedule meeting that Brandon kind of puts together for the Northwestern tracks.
Which was a good meeting again.
Yep, Dickinson
Other than I
came.
came
Yep.
out of there with running slingshots on my Tougher Than Dirt tour.
Hey, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's
great,
that's going to be awesome.
You guys had to talk me into it.
Yeah, I mean, when a couple tracks are already doing it and you're like, well, why don't these other ones do it? Like, we should maybe talk about a payout one day for them. But,
right. No, yeah, so, yeah, the opening night is a Thursday.
Yeah, so last year we did a Thursday night, and that worked out really well. You know, we do race some Fridays. We don't want to step on Mandan's toes, but sometimes it's just like we have to.
Yeah.
You know, I want to
Right.
thank Mandan. One of the nights they took off, August 1st, they took the Cole County off. So we're really only over top of Mandan for our county fair date, and how do you get away from that when the county
Right.
fair is so supportive of it of
Right.
us?
So you start Thursday, May 22nd, all the normal classes.
Yep,
You guys run stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, compacts,
Legends.
legends,
Wingless
and
sprints.
wingless sprints.
That's all.
Is that the norm for all your regular nights, or
Well,
compacts
I
are only
mean-
on there for a few nights?
Yeah, compacts, we got 4 nights again. I know that they wanted some more, but last year I thought our schedule was good, you know.
I like the variety. I
Yeah.
like to give people that variety of having. You guys remember racing when I was president of NODAC? I had the class rotation.
Yep.
There was some heartburn from people about the rotation, but I like that variety
Yeah.
of giving people,
Yep.
because people that need to understand they're going to the races, but we're still trying to entertain them. And if it's the same thing every single night,
Right.
you got to come up with some sort of different entertainment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always-
and yes, yep. No, I could go on and on about that.
Probably half your grandstand is only there to watch.
One person,
Right.
or
Right, and then the other half are the diehards that are
Yep.
Yep.
They're going to watch whatever.
going to watch whatever. So it's,
then for the 9th year, I think Mclean County came on in year 2 of the Tougher the Dirt Tour.
Yep.
So this would be year 10 of the Tougher the Dirt Tour. So year 9 of you guys hosting opening night.
Yep.
On a Tuesday night now. It was
Which
a Wednesday night at one time before.
We had like an unreal car count on a Tuesday night last year, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah, so we dropped sport mods that night because
Dropped stock cars.
Stock cars. Sorry, we dropped stock cars that night. And then we did throw trophy class in there. The reason why behind that is we do have an enduro that's Saturday. So
Okay.
A little test and tune.
and really they can probably run the slime in, pack the track a little bit
Yep.
for the main classes.
right.
Yeah, so Sport Mod, Hobby Stock, Legends, and Slingshots. Now, all 4 of them classes, as you said, they're on the tour, on
Yep.
a tour.
On a
Yep.
tour.
Legends are on the Legendary Tour.
Yep.
And then Tougher Than Dirt Tour is taking the Sport Mod
And you
Hobby.
guys split at one point, right?
We split after night 2. So we go night 1 and 2, and then night 3, they go east.
They go.
We go
Wishick and
Williston.
those places, yeah.
Yep.
And then everybody meets back in Minot.
Minot for
Yep.
championship
Okay.
night. Yep.
Okay.
Which is a cool deal.
Yep, it is.
Which is a cool deal that they all merge back together. That actually got started quite a few years ago on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour.
Yeah.
When Dickinson had sport mods and Estevan had hobbies.
Yeah.
And I split them 2 classes up,
Okay.
where sport mods went to Dickinson, hobbies went to Estevan, then we met in Williston the next
Yep.
night.
Do you think there's ever going to be Legends run the whole Tougher Than Dirt Tour?
There has been some requests from not only the drivers, but the racetracks have requested it as well.
I think it'd be cool to see them on Williston and in Estevan. I
Yeah.
think they'd really get
the
around
hard
places
part
really
is
well
the hard part is getting their local tracks that run them weekly
to not have them that
to convince to go along with that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
tour nights or whatever at those tracks are still like
They're
points
regular
and-
nights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
points
I don't want to
nights.
call them points nights because I don't think they do track points.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's their regular race nights.
Right.
Yeah.
So they would have to give them up.
And that's where their regular race fans are, all that.
Correct.
Yeah, I
So
get it. Yep.
it's a hard thing
Yep.
to. Now, if we could figure out how to run like the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, like a Sunday through Thursday or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
We were so worried that Sunday through Thursday isn't ridiculous anymore, right? Because we were so worried on Tuesday night last year, like it wasn't the greatest weather,
No.
isn't it? The stands are packed, the pits are packed. Like, well, apparently it's easier for guys to take Tuesday off work than it is to tell your wife we're not going to lake on Friday. So we'll race Tuesday, go to lake Friday.
Why- the cool part with this being year 10 of this deal, I think it's
on the
actually-
calendar.
Yeah, and now that I found a home because I bounced around a little bit.
Yep.
I had over July 4th weekend.
Yep.
Then I had over Memorial Day weekend, and we found this home, and I found this because it's 1 month before the mod tour.
Yep.
So, it's like that first week in June. So everybody knows in North Dakota now, first week in June is tougher than Dirt Tour. First week in July is Mod Tour.
Kind of gets the summer rolling for us, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, it kicks off a whole month of chaos.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
It's going to be awesome.
We're going to be at the racetrack like with 25 out of 40 nights or whatever it feels like. So.
Yeah, and then fair races, the county fair races, which are always a good time. Friday, Saturday.
Yep. So let's
bring it in mods.
Yeah, right? Let's let Isaac talk about the Fast 40 deal.
Yeah, so we kind of stealing a little bit of an idea from Justin and Rage, and just something we wanted a little bit different format. We race so many times in the same. We were just talking about formats earlier, what we like, we don't like, and we have a little bit of a time constraint during the county fair. Not a huge one, a little bit of one. So on Friday night, what we're going to do is we're going to run a quick hot lap session, and then you're going to be in line to qualify. You'll get like a hot lap. And you're going to go back in line, and we're going to qualify. And then after our 2-3 laps of qualifying, our top 6 are going to draw. And then the rest will start on your qualifying order out. It's like 7 through whatever. And then we're not running heat races. You're going to start the 40-lap feature, the Fair Fast 40, off of your qualifying on your draw. And
is that on night 1?
That's on night 1.
That's for mods.
That's for the mods. Yeah, and it's $1,000 to win, $200 to start. We don't think we're going to need a fuel stop. That's something if we had a bunch of yellows, we'll discuss that down the road. But
Brandon's going to offer one modified driver in the top 6 some money to start at the back of the pack challenge.
Hey, I love that. And so we're looking at a different format, different entertainment for the fans, right? Okay. And so we talked about the longer we race in Underwood, the better racing gets. I ran this by Trav, a couple other guys. We talked about it quite a bit, and they liked it. And so you're going to run 40 laps in a feature, and it's going to be go time, And like in Underwood, you start 6th or 7th, you got to go. I mean, it's hard to pass. You got to go right away. So it's going to be a hard 40 laps. I think it's going to be really good racing. And then we're going to flip it on. So stock cars will run a normal show. Everybody will run a normal show, and then Saturday night, mods will run a normal show for normal pay. Stock cars will run the stock car Fast 40 on Saturday night. So it'll be the same format for the stock car Saturday night. So
I like
kind of
it.
Yeah, something different for the fans, and everybody comes and races an 8-lap heat race, and that might get old. So, qualifying a time trial. We got Lindsey Lawson on board for an announcer also. If Isaac or Toby Kramer, he's been helping. So, hopefully Lindsey can give his best Johnny Gibson quick time, deal. But
and it's something as drivers we don't do very often.
And
so
is it going to be singled car?
I think we're going to try to do 2 at a time. As long as Mariah's got the timing worked out, we're going to try to do two at a time, and Underwood will work good. Because you can roll them past the flag stand when you get the back straight and roll the next, out of 2, roll the next one. We should be able to go pretty quick. Right. So that's why we feel like we're shrinking time in our – even though we're going to run a longer feature, we're going to shrink time in the format. So especially night 2, we should have a pretty good flow of it. So
and then if it goes good at the county fair, I would like to try it. July 3rd would be the Wingless Show. They're going to do a 30-lap race, and then –
Similar format,
same thing, qualifying. And then July 13th, I'd like to do the hobbies and sport mods. They could do so everybody got a chance to do this qualifier deal.
Yep.
So just something different.
I think it's fun. We did it for the topless deal in Minot.
And it's different.
It's different.
The Gov Cup did it a couple years ago. I actually really liked it when the Governor's Cup did that. And it gave us – it really was interesting to see some guys that qualify well don't race well, qualify well. So it really changed up the lineup for the night. So
I like it.
One good lap out of 3, one good lap out of 8. You're probably getting 6th, 7th, 8th. If you raise 8 consistent ones. So it's going to be exciting.
So will that Fast 40 will that take place? I'm looking on there. The stock car special you've had the last couple years. That's been kind of pre the tour or post the tour.
Yeah. So
is that planned this year?
Yeah, so the stock car special, that's later on down at the Cole County.
Oh, at the Cole County.
Yep.
I have some people, like some drivers from the tour came up and ran that deal last year. Jay Schmidt being one of them, and he sent me a message here the other day saying, is the pre-tour race still on at Underwood? And I said, I'll check for you. But he can come race anyways.
We're racing the 3rd.
So the tour starts on July 5th.
Yep.
The earliest the tour will ever start.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we did – Minot's racing July 4th.
Yep.
They always do, and Jamestown's racing July 4th. Is Jamestown going to do a doubleheader? The 4th and 5th?
They had it on their calendar as either or.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
But anyways, Minot's racing July 4th. We're never going to race over top of Minot.
Nope.
All our help is there. A lot of our fans come from here. So this year it just didn't work out. We'll see. We're going to try July 3rd. trying to get some donations for a fireworks show.
I kind of like you in that July 3rd hole.
Yeah.
Like right there. I like you because it used to be Williston. In the last few years, Williston hasn't ran it over there. So I've been kind of looking for something to do on July 3rd.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know what I do on July 4th? I go to the lake once a year, July 4th.
July 4th.
So, yeah, but
I just don't know what to do at the lake. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But
the after dirt.
So, anyways, so we're gonna race in the 3rd. So if any of those guys ask, I'm guessing the pay will get a little bit
Better.
If
better.
somebody
the closer
could,
we
yeah,
get.
I mean,
we got to make it $1,000 to win for those guys to come a night early because they won't race at Minot on Friday night.
well, yeah, they don't
right?
have anywhere to go on Friday, so
they
they're
could
not going to
just
come
hang
2
out.
days. Well,
Right,
but
yeah.
they're not going to come 2 days early. I don't think they will.
Maybe
Sit
not.
around for a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to say. I offered Jay, if Jay wanted to come up, I offered him to come up to Minot for the races on July 4th, and I said we'd do some sort of cookout and hang out.
Yeah.
And then,
well, that's cool if he enjoyed his time up here.
yeah, he had a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see yourself on there.
You got to
'cause
go over here.
You got to go over to the each side. You what?
Question?
Oh, what's that?
Can we go on your weekly and talk about...
Later. Come find me later.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
They should get a camera in Underwood.
Yes.
The Ruby kids.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let
they
that
should.
go.
Yes. Medler and Rubies.
So
then you roll into championship night. Now, all of them are points races leading up to, other than for mods, right?
Yep.
Are leading up to July 27th championship night, which is a Sunday.
Sunday, yep. Yep.
The last Sunday before NODAC comes
13th
back.
13th
is a Sunday as
Yep.
well.
Yep. Those are 6 p.m. starts like we have done in the past. So,
Great.
Yep.
So yeah, championship night are what I would call 6 normal. I don't even know. We don't have normal classes because we.
Right.
But
Bounce around. Right.
Sport mods and hobby stocks, they race every night. If you have a sport mod or hobby stock, you can race in Underwood every night. Stock cars, you're off the Tougher Than Dirt tour. Other than that, you're there every night.
Yep.
So
And Legends are there.
I think they're there 7 times.
Yep.
7 out of 9.
Everything but it looks
so.
like the fair races. I don't see them on the fair. So.
Nope. Man-down races Friday, Jamestown Saturday.
Yep.
It's hard to, but we should throw our stock car plug out there. Thanks to Hot Sauce Enterprises, Fury Energy, Too Strong, Quick Rescue Roof, the Grandpa Dick Schultz point fund, $1,104 to win the points for the stock cars.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the coolers.
Right, and what?
They're up at. I'll go get them.
So yeah, so it'll be a $1,104 bonus, and then we're gonna keep track of the hard charger for the year, and the hard charger for the year through all of the races. Whoever passes the most cars has the best plus minus will get that cooler.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I forgot to bring the cooler.
That's right. We'll
So-
we'll see you again.
A lot of incentive to the stock cars, and
To
you
be in
know,
Underwood, yeah.
and it's not like something that we're doing as an Underwood board, or like I have a stock car, so I want to race, or I want to race for more money. And it's people coming and saying this is what we want.
Yep.
We want modifieds in Underwood.
Yep.
There's people donating a lot of money for the stock cars. And in years last year we had 5 1,000 to win stock car races.
Yep.
The track didn't put up any extra money for that.
People,
Right.
yeah.
People put up money. So if you want, we had a 700 to win hobby stock feature last year
Yep.
because somebody came up and put money up for
Right.
it. So if you guys want to see a big show,
Bring the checkbook.
Bring the checkbook, and
put it
we'll
together.
do whatever you want. If you
and it
wanna-
goes to the drivers.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the biggest message. You're not putting money up so you guys can put it in your account and maybe go buy a tractor or get extra this. No, you're going to put money up. We're going to make this show special. You're going to put money up. It goes
Yep.
to the drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you can sit there as a business owner or a fan going, I paid
Yep.
If
part of the purse tonight.
Right.
If people would see our purse payouts and see what we have in the bank, they'd think we're crazy.
Yeah.
But that's
True
just
story.
that's
Well, but
just
it all
how
helps.
we do it.
And
Yep.
so some of the discussion with the tribute to Dick, like that Rodney Conway and I had, so like you're going to get paid championship night too. You're going to get your check championship night because we just felt like he said in the middle of the year, like when Mike Swallers won that $1,000 one, where it was at Cole County or somewhere along the way, right?
Right.
That was a big deal. Like Mike was
Yep.
like Mike got to buy tires. Like so we wanted to do it. So like you're going to do it at NODAC. You're going to get your check, championship weekend and here. So like that's $1,000 to get through and lead up to the Cole County where, hey, I got tires for the Cole County now too.
Yep.
So
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool
No, it's
when
awesome.
when you hear people like Mike. He's I'm still racing because of Underwood.
Yeah.
Mike
Right,
Swallers
yeah.
has said that to a lot of people, you know, and he'll still bounce around in Minot once in a while or
Yep.
Williston once in a while. But when drivers say like that, like that's what keeps me going. So we're very fortunate. So
It's an awesome place.
Yeah.
If anybody's on here listening, if it's compacts, legends, any class,
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys put up the money, we'll have a special.
We'll figure something out.
There has been requests to put compacts on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour too. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that needs to be the after dirt.
Is the
talk
world ready
show.
for that?
I don't know.
Run them last.
How about this? Compacts in Beatrice. They're wild. Like they race like 4 or 5 wide, beating and
Yeah,
banging.
they start 3 wide, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
We've talked about this on our normal Dirt Weekly show. I play some highlights every once in a while. Them compacts sometimes have the race of the night.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Most times they
Well,
have the race of the night.
What Drew got going there at the end of the year for Motor Magic was a pretty cool idea. Like
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty,
Yep.
Yeah, so like if somebody wants to do that, we'd love to do that. In Underwood.
I
We'd
still
love to
think
give-
Sport
I
compact
still think it
special.
should be like we got to get like a dozen of them built where we can rotate drivers. I think that would be phenomenal if you like throw a Pfeiffer in one week, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that would just be awesome.
Like an IROC.
Well,
type
yeah.
deal.
It'd be hilarious if, whatever big bad mod driver is going to get in this compact, we'd probably get our butt whooped.
Yeah.
We'd probably get our butt whooped.
Yeah.
I know,
man.
Honestly.
I had that idea years ago. What I wanted to do was try to get the businesses involved, like a Tough Trucks or a Rick Fondell or whatever, to where they kept the car.
Like the old Trax Plus go-karts. That sponsor was
they-
on them.
Yeah, that sponsor.
Yep.
They didn't have to buy the car. We would help buy the car.
Right.
But they helped maintain it during the week. And then
I think
we'd bring it to the track, and then we'd have different people drive them.
Yep.
But we'd have to run non-sanctioned because you mod guys can't run them and a
Yeah.
modified.
That's fine. I think the show would be worth it.
Or we could have a feature after the night. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like an IROC deal.
Like-
like an all-star race.
Those guys
Well, let's just look at it.
would
Like,
whoop us, I bet. I know they would.
like we get a situation like last year with like Brenner and Kyler. Let's get them in a sport compact. Remember Days of Thunder when they had to go to that supper and they
go
got
to
to
dinner,
hash it out?
Yep.
Let them hash it out, boys.
Yep. Sport
Put on a
compact.
show.
Sport compact.
I think that promoter down south, if you fight in the pits, you're
You're
done.
suspended,
If
but
you
if you
fight on
fight
the
on the
front
front straight, you
straightaway.
get paid
Yep.
$500 or whatever.
We're entertainers, boys. So
And I made the mistake last year of telling them guys on the race receiver to stop messing around on the track and take it back to the pit area.
yeah,
I
was
screwed that up.
How about this though? We were just talking about how smalls and we're all getting along.
Yeah.
10 years later. What do you think about the Grinstead Saturn situation 10 years later? Hopefully,
they'll be
Yeah,
fine.
hopefully they'll be back to
we got to bring it up.
to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan and Wayne probably weren't having that conversation 20 years ago either.
Right.
You know?
No, I think Wayne claimed there's still Ford valve covers in Harry's shop.
Yeah,
So
that's
Wayne claimed Dad one night. Now they'll sit and BS
Yeah.
all night. So
That was like 20 years they were mad about that deal.
So you finish up the year, Cole County Classic. How many years have we had this now?
well, we got rained out
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and then we raced it the year prior. So
It-
it's been
this weekend has
It's been this weekend for the last 4 years.
and the Cole County Golf Tournament now too. Has
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Cole Hanshoe.
the Cole Hanshoe Open has
Have you seen him hit his
He can hit
putter?
300-yard bombs with a putter.
it's
Yes.
Cole Hanshoe has some very special skills, Brandon. I don't know if any of them are like really like
He's
but
like
they're
a
cool to watch.
He's a jack of all trades
Yeah.
and a master of none.
He's
Cole.
like a stud softball player, like
Oh.
slow pitch softball player. They said he's
Yeah.
just unbelievable. And like, how
Yeah, but
can you?
He's that way with his
Cornhole.
cornhole bag toss.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's that way.
Beer pong probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a party sport
It was
You know,
a party.
aficionado,
have
whatever you want to call
have
it.
you ever not had fun with Cole Hanshoe?
No, there's never
That's-
a time. And how we're not all 400 pounds after hanging out with Cole Hanshoe because he always has food.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the hot wire that he has to do on the smoker or the grill or whatever he's working on is stories amongst themselves.
for sure.
Because that
Legend.
down at the Stampede last year, he was smoking cream cheese, and either that smoker was on or off. There was no in between. He had to hot wire it. So he had to wire it. He took all the wiring apart, had to hot wire it on or off.
Have you seen his trailer?
It's same thing.
No, but like
He must have
He
got
got
stuck
stuck.
on the way here.
getting the
Oh.
trailer out, so everything from his pickup to his trailer is mud
Yeah, there's
from
just
one end to the other.
there's 2 streaks of mud right up the gooseneck of his trailer.
Poor Handshoe.
Colito.
It's going to be a good year in Underwood.
That's how we're going to end. Well, he is the reigning Sport Mod champion.
Sport Mod champ.
You know, and also there might be a keg up here from the banquet. So Handshoe,
Can you ever bring it back?
Handshoe, if you have that, we should take care of that.
The rest of the rail's looking for it.
Yeah.
Oh, are they really?
No, I mean, I don't know. They probably don't
I
know.
was like, wow. Yeah, let's touch on that just for a second before we go away.
Our banquet?
What a great banquet.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Really good time.
Yeah, that was there's a lot of people that, you know, I don't want to sit here and try and name them all, but there was a lot of people that came together, a lot of silent auction donations.
Yeah.
Just thank you to everybody that did that. Hopefully, and you know, we were nervous on a Friday night, and I think that we'll probably
we had to set
continue
up
doing
extra
that.
tables. It was really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, halfway through, we're pulling tables. So.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
The roast beef and chicken was prime.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I mean, we always had a good time inviting you down to the Nodak banquet, and I mean, that's cool. But you guys doing it on your own was just...
Well,
and your MC was... you might want to work on that a little bit. But
he needs to be fired.
you know, and a guy... We need to thank the Nodak Speedway for that, because they always gave an hour and a half of their banquet for us.
Yep.
And, you know, we just thought that we were to the point where we should have our own. And we did, and it was a great attendance. We did a free will offering deal, and that seemed to be good. We sold, I think, every T-shirt but like 6 or 8.
Yeah,
so
goofy sizes, but
that's the
way
banquet's
going
to happen again, and we're probably going to do it around that first week of November again. I'd like to see when all the other banquets are, because again, we didn't mean to schedule over Nodak or Dakota Speedway's banquet. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, if Jordan wasn't going into every Hall of Fame, it'd be easier to schedule.
Right.
He's in all of them now, isn't he? We can schedule whenever we want.
I think so.
Goodness gracious.
How do you get in the North Dakota State Hall of Fame?
I have no idea.
Because like it took Donnie Shots like forever.
Is there
to get in
there's
there.
a North Dakota State Racing Hall of Fame or
Yes.
just Sports Hall of Fame?
Was it Motorsports? Sports. We have North Dakota has a Sports Hall of Fame, and Donnie went in 2 years ago, right?
I thought it was a motorsport or whatever.
If it's a Sports Hall of Fame,
it's a Sports Hall of Fame, but I think the reason he went in the motorsports class.
Oh,
but it's like I mean, the Phil Jacksons, the Jim Klein Saucers.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have a chance at that.
Jordan Boyce.
I bet Jordan does.
Hey, have you talked to? Hey, next time on Dirt Weekly, you should take some notes. You got to have Jordan talk about. You need a green machine session first off every night. When he went to Florida, at 45 miles an hour the whole way.
Oh, he's brought it up in the Ford thing.
I think him and Dave talked about that last year, right?
Yep. Yeah, I had
Spicy
Dave. They were on here. Spicy Dave and Jordan were on here last year.
Spicy Dave got cut off this broadcast, though. Spicy Dave's got too many spicy stories.
Yeah.
We had to kick him out.
Yeah. Before he gave away all the secrets.
Yeah, it's the stories. Well, I can't remember half of them, but I cruised around the country with Jordan for 3 years when I was a kid. You know, myself and Wyatt and Fluffy, the three of us cruised around. That was Jordan's little pit crew.
Right. Yep.
We didn't have a clue what we were doing, but we were there.
Kind of miss that, though. Like, I mean, I miss being like that age and just like you're just wheeling and dealing, just going through, not a care in the world. Like, I got $12 for a pit burger. Like, hell yeah, life's good.
Yeah. Butch giving us grief because every time a girl walked by, we all stopped what we were doing to watch the girl walk by.
Yeah, well.
And Butch's like, get back to work, guys.
Yeah. It's a little bit different in Volusia, though.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different in Volusia.
Watch out for the gators. They're not pets.
Watch out for the gators.
When it says don't feed the gators when you walk through the pits, it's like a legit thing. Don't feed the gators.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, like if you go down in the... have you ever been to Volusia?
Drove by it.
Yeah, so there's like the good pit area where like the dudes get to park, and then the big block mods and like some of the... I shouldn't say, like Turbo was down there and stuff like that, which Turbo was having a good time after the races, but because it's Turbo. But yeah, there's a pond that they all pit around down on the bottom, I would call it,
and there's
gators in there, and it says don't feed the gators. And you're walking from here to the wall away, and there's gators walking around, and it's just like, get out of here.
Wow. I don't know how I'd do down there.
You'd feed the gators, probably.
Feed the gators.
They'd eat me.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your steak sandwiches with the gators?
Yeah.
Steak sandwiches.
How about let's throw a plug out to Gabe Deshaw with the win last night.
In the sport mod, right?
That was good.
I think he's gonna be all right at this racing thing. I think Gabe's gonna be okay.
It took him a while, but he's getting there.
I think it took him a while to get dialed in.
Yeah, a year.
I think they're gonna
not
figure
even.
it out. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. I think he needs to stay in a sport mod for like 3 or 4 more years.
Yeah,
so in fact, I think he actually should just skip and go right to those things. I don't think.
Maybe he wants to go see what Layla and Amelia are up to. See if they can't get in one of them.
He's already going to school in Forks, so Bo should just build that thing and just take it out there. This race Friday nights. I don't know.
What do you? I mean,
let's just ship him out.
That's all we need.
I got in trouble from Gabe's mom last year because on the Dirt Weekly I begged and begged and begged for Gabe to get in an A mod because I want to watch Gabe and Travis.
Yeah.
I got in trouble. She goes, "Stop doing that. We're not ready for an A mod yet." I'm like, "My apologies."
He's ready.
I go, I'm personal on this. I want to see the.
He'll be all right.
Well, I like the first year or two. So we all parked by each other down there in a row, right? And so the first year or two, he'd come and ask Marcus of stuff. Like he'd come, what's going on with this and this? And now when he comes back in for the Sport Modern Stock Car Feature, Marcus and I are over there. What's the track do? What do you think about this? What do you? The tables turn pretty quick with that kid. Like, yeah. You tell us what should we be doing? So he'll be all right. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. He just got up on top and railed that thing.
Well, he threw that slider. I mean, and it was him and Tom Berry are such good buddies, which is cool or whatever. And it was a Tom Berry line slider.
Yep.
It was just
slider line.
And just and it went.
Yep.
So there's a couple guys down there. My uncle was down there. He
Stan's
ran
on there.
And
I seen Stan was down there. That's a pretty cool deal that he's got going on. That's Static's car?
Yep.
Yeah, Static. Yeah, bought him a jet car, or I don't know exactly how it is. I think he's the hired gun. I know that he has put some of his own coin into it, obviously, but
that's cool. So Stan coming back and doing that racing stuff. Got in Ken's car last year, and because I think at one time Stan was done.
Yeah,
he got in that wingless car there for a while, and then just that. I don't ever really know what happened there, and then he got a new job, and that kind of took priority for a while, and then got back into it, and now Brooklyn's racing. She's got a brand new compact at home. So.
I seen that. I was going to ask that. I seen they sold the compact, so got a new one.
Yeah, they sold it to like one of the guys that they bought it from, his buddies. It went right back to the same shop, I think, or close to, or something. So
I will say that when she won in Underwood last year was one of the coolest moments that I've got to be a part of.
Stand down there in the infield.
The whole grandstand on their feet, like that was insane.
It's kind of fun because telling Stan over the race receiver, Stan, we're going to wait for you. You can come over to Victory Lane with your daughter.
Just things you need to do. Like there's moments. I always talk about this in some of my other podcasts. Like we're chasing dreams, we're making memories. Like that's the whole point of doing this deal. Like at the end of the day, like I'm gonna be rolling around here in a wheelchair at some point. I will hope we made enough memories.
Sometimes you got to slow down and do things the right way.
That was one of the moments I was like, we got to do this.
Miles won the wingless feature. Brooklyn won.
Yeah,
and then Buckwheat goes and wins the Sportmon feature. So
that was awesome.
That was a good night for the Tomlinson clan. But
it's cool. Yeah. Marcus and I won the tractor feature. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for as many laps as we have around that place, you'd think we'd have an advantage, and I haven't won there since my second year racing modified.
Yeah, I haven't won there. I've got 3 wins there, but none of them since 2016. That's a long time.
So there's no advantage. There's no advantage.
10 years.
Maybe we should put other people in the tractor, and then we'd.
Yeah, and guy can go practice there whenever. Yeah. I've never turned a practice lap there.
Yeah.
Because
every time we go over there, we end up doing more work or picking rocks
or fixing the fence this year, the guardrail. Tyson. We got to fix that.
That's not Tyson's fault.
That's Bill.
It's his car.
Bill's fault.
Technically, that's your dad's fault.
There's a
lot of blame to go around.
It was the night ended well. I will.
Yeah.
Brenner won the feature. I ran third.
Yeah, you had a heck of it.
Pretty cool.
The fact that you guys got that car back together and out there was.
Sometimes that can make them better, man.
I apologize for freaking out, but I was adamant that we were not going to stop. We weren't going to shuffle the show.
Yep.
Because the talk was, we'll just let the hobbies run last. And I was, this is the mod feature night.
Yeah, right? We kind of wanted to go.
Well, but I think the talk that we had, though, was we're just going to move the hobbies back one just to give that. Because you got to understand from the other side of it, from the racetrack side of it, the trophy class it's not a, what do you call it? It's a
probably not the biggest grab of the night for spectators.
Right, the trophy class is maybe not for the spectators. It's for guys that want to get into cars that have never been in cars. So it's almost like an exhibition.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
And
so when we talked about it, I remember saying, well, man, I don't want that to be the end all for him racing.
Right.
Let's keep him in it. Let's just shuffle him back one or whatever.
That's just things you do in Underwood that probably doesn't happen other places. Like
but I did the same thing on the mod tour with Austin Doe.
Yep.
Austin Doe, they were out packing the track. He spun out. Somebody hit him, tore up the front of the car. I said, Austin, here's what I'm going to do. You're supposed to be in the first heat. I'm going to put you in the last heat, and you're going to get passing points from starting last. So we readjusted it. But you have to be human about this stuff.
Yep.
If you're not human, then it's not. And I don't care if somebody says favoritism. I don't care.
We do it for anybody.
We do it for anybody.
When you're in that situation, we're gonna do it for you. How many times have we waited for someone to change a tire?
Exactly.
We don't have a 2-minute rule. We don't have a 2-lap rule. So
we don't have a possum rule.
Is she coming this way?
A possum rule.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing, Tyson. It's a whole other show we got to do on that.
Yeah, the possum show Dirt Weekly or After the Dirt or something.
After the Dirt.
Well, you kind of invented the possum rule, didn't you?
I did not invent it. I just brought it back to the light.
They wrote it because,
No, we didn't write it because of him.
No.
Well,
I'll tell
Brandon wrote it.
I wrote it.
It came back.
And I can tell you why it's wrote, but that's not going to be on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always not enforced the same way.
Right.
So
anyways.
Different process, different rule.
That's for the 1 o'clock meeting. No, I'm not. I think I got over it.
We better stop because there is a 1 o'clock meeting coming. It's 12:04.
I need to go get a hot dog.
Okay, so let's close this out then. Don't just take it off. I mean, we got to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, you see it
give
Underwood?
one last pitch for the Underwood. I mean, you guys start is May 22nd.
May 22nd.
Thursday.
Looking for some sponsors yet.
There'll be a track cleanup day posted at some point here, right? To kind of when the weather gets better here. Yep.
Just want to encourage everybody to come out to this event, the Magic City Car and Trade Show. A lot of cool stuff.
We're here till 6 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
And then we start from 10 to 6 again tomorrow.
You'll be here till midnight tonight, and
come see all the booths, all the cars. Donnie Schatz and the girls will be here tomorrow, or the girls are here today.
Yep.
Yeah, come on out.
Donnie's coming tomorrow.
Yep, Donnie is going to be here from 1 to 3 tomorrow.
They rained out, so he's free.
Maybe he's on his way right now.
Maybe.
And maybe you can take him out to Schatz's. Maybe he'll buy.
I think there's going to be a Facebook Live. I got a message that they want to go Facebook Live with the girls, I believe, because they're doing some – they have some apparel and –
Well, they'll be a much better listen than us. I know that.
For sure.
Yes, and I don't know if we're using this or something else, so that's where I got to go figure out what we're doing. And then
You're the man.
Yeah.
Thanks
hopefully see you guys out there.
Thanks for being you, Brad.
This is a lot of fun, though. I
is.
think this.
Man,
I've told you we need to do something in the wintertime with Sandrol Sundays or something. Sunday sermon with Sandrol, or we got to do something with the sports season.
We could do so I'm a Class B basketball fanatic too.
Yeah.
So
we and Tyson went to school for stuff like that. So we could do
I mean, my equipment all fits in that green tub back there. So literally, I can't bring the table everywhere. Obviously, all I need is a table.
We'll call some high school basketball games, I think.
Oh, I got a plan for you next year.
I
got a plan for you next year.
We should just mic him up.
You can probably come in on this if you want.
Yeah, I do not need to spend any more time in the gym than I already am. My wife will leave me.
Oh, we can do it in your shop.
Well, yeah. We got to go.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Before I get divorced.